Hi, I'm Andy Hite. Welcome to our next edition of Around the Farm. This is a really special day for the Johnston Farm Indian Agency. We're standing in our new patio room as you've watched it progress over the course of the winter. We are now finished. We've used it with school groups, and today we are going to dedicate this room and put it to use, recognize people that had a part in this project. So I think you'll enjoy this today, get a good look at the site. Joe showed some pictures already outside. There's a car show going on today. There's events at the farmhouse. So when you look at the Johnston Farm today, this is a busy place, and we hope that you enjoy this edition of Around the Farm.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please. I'd like to welcome you to the Education Center dedication of the Johnston Farm and Indian Agency. I'm Jim Oda. I'm president of the Friends Council. Hopefully you had a chance to see all our wonderful cars as you walked in, and hopefully you'll be able to spend a little time looking at those. I'd like to also remind you that it's Flag Day. If you haven't put your flag out, please do so. And there were documented 6 flags over the Johnston Farm, so we're a kind of a Flag Day, Flag Day, Flag Day, Flag Day kind of thing. I do want to talk a little bit about this wonderful room that we're in. This has been a very long struggle to do this. Over the years, we've had a lot of kids and we've crammed a lot of students back here. And you put one group on one side and one group on the other side, and they would hear each other and they kind of look at the other one. Here we can put a bus load in here, once we get them off the bus, of course, and then separate them out, go either direction. And so this is a wonderful thing for bringing people in, as well as having this as a site for a lot of other small activities. If you have a small wedding in your future, please think about us. This is a wonderful area here, and we can even do something that no other wedding site can do. We can offer you a ride on the canal boat. All right. The key here has been to decide what we wanted, where we wanted it. That was one of our long discussions on where this was going to be in relationship to the existing museum. And then we had to do something that's the easy part, raise money for it. Yeah, so the fundraising aspect, and I am very, very proud of the Upper Miami Valley. We did this in about, 8 months, give or take, 8-9 months, raised the money to build this wonderful facility. Throughout this entire period, Andy Hite had a vision. It's probably high, but yeah. He always wonders what I'm going to say when he's back there. Working with what was then OHS and now the Ohio History Connection, bringing together planners and architects and contractors to put together this vision, make it a reality. We had to decide what kind of artifacts, what kind of things to put in here. Can't just have a big open space. It's nice, but you have to decide what is going to be here. And finally, and most important, when we're dealing with the artifacts out here, we found a home for Bob the fiberglass horse. We've had Bob for quite a while, and now Bob has a place right with our dulcimers. And I do want to introduce the Peaceful Strings for their wonderful, wonderful music today. Thank you very much for being here. I did promise them that it wouldn't be by Bob's back end next time. To do this facility, the people, the institutions, the local supporters, bringing everybody together, having them come together with a single idea. This is the newest historical museum addition in the entire area, and it's one that we are very, very proud of, and maybe I'm a little biased, but it's certainly the best one in the entire area. We do have some wonderful guests with us. I'd like to bring to the podium State Senator Bill Beagle for a resolution. Senator.
Don't go too far. Well, good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to present some recognition on behalf of the Senate for this fabulous event, opening this center. I didn't realize that that a librarian could be so loud and animated. It took me up. Exactly. There's the Jim I thought I knew. There's a couple of great things here. You've got, and I'm not gonna read this thing exactly. We'll spare you that. But just to make a few remarks about the value of this as an education center. For the great history that surrounds the canal and surrounds John Johnston and his long life. I read recently in the Timelines article, a lengthy article on John Johnston and the amazing life that this man had for that period of time, and it's right that we spend some time capturing that portion of Ohio's history. But you've also got a great community asset here, and my congratulations on having a room that can be utilized by the entire community for a wide variety of events, and I wish you luck with that. And on behalf of the Ohio Senate, I offer you congratulations on the opening of the Senate.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to bring up and introduce Dr. Richard Adams, our state representative. Over the years, I have learned from Dick that at these kind of events, always wear a necktie. Dr. Adams.
Well, Bert, I saw, I got the memo. Apparently some didn't. Well, it's certainly good to be here. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. And it's a delightful addition to what is already an outstanding facility. Bert, we're glad you're here. I think you can recognize the degree to which this community, through our friends and supporters, have taken a lead in working with the state of Ohio in making this an even better facility. And I imagine Andy has a few ideas that he hasn't shared with the volunteers and the staff yet about the next phase in making this facility even better. So we're delighted, and I want to congratulate you, Andy, as well as all of your colleagues. And Jim, this couldn't be done without you and all of the volunteers who have also been active in making this a reality. So everybody needs to give themselves a pat on the back, and certainly we would anticipate as we look to the future there will be a continuation of those things that will make this facility on the cutting edge of what's good, what's new, and what really does what we need to have done in perpetuating the history, the rich history of the Upper Miami Valley. I have a resolution from the state of Ohio. I want you to know that we changed the presentation resolution format. This is the first one.
Wow.
And I like it a lot better. And I think that you'll, well, I'll tell you, I wrote this, I'm going to read part of it. You can tug on my sleeve. I tell you, this is a great group of people who are here today, but I want to tell you, recently I was over at Piqua Catholic talking to the fourth graders. Molly Green invited me to enter a bill in the Ohio House designating the Buckeye candy as the official state candy. She had a petition with 304 signatures on it. This Molly is, I'm glad I'm retiring. She may want this job. I'm not. She's great. But anyway, here's just a couple of things because I think it indicates how we believe this has happened and the degree to which it's very, very important. This is on behalf of the members of the Ohio House of Representatives, the 130th General Assembly. We're pleased to congratulate the Johnston Farm and Indian Agency on the dedication of the Education Center. In this modern era, in which the durability of goods and values are often measured in months and days rather than in years and decades, it's not only enlightening, but it's also satisfying to discover that some representations of the past still stand for future generations as a record of and a monument to previous achievements. The Johnston Farm and Indian Agency has certainly made positive contributions to the state of Ohio, demonstrating the rich heritage of bygone days. Thus, with sincere satisfaction, we commend the Johnston Farm and Indian Agency on its new education center and extend best wishes for ongoing success. Signed by Bill Batchelder, Speaker. Now, don't tell him I said that. I am retiring, but you know, I still got to work with him for a while. Bill Batchelder, the Speaker of the House, and myself as your state representative. It's a pleasure to present this to you with our commendation.
Thank you. I would be remiss in saying that Dr. Adams has been an outstanding representative for our area and a very strong supporter of history in our area. You know, he's basically old, so he does that.
I did not know
that. You just filled his slot. I know. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our Miami County Commissioners, who always have been strong supporters of the farm. If you'd kind of wave at the folks, John Evans, Dick Coltice, and Bud John O'Brien. I've worked with these gentlemen on a number of projects and committees, and with a single exception, they are really very nice guys. I would like to take this opportunity to bring to the podium the Piqua City Assistant City Manager, Justin Sommer, for a few brief remarks. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is, down that side. Okay.
When Andy asked if I wanted to say anything this morning, I hadn't seen Dick yet, so if I knew that you were speaking, I wouldn't have volunteered to follow you. When I think about the Piqua community and talk about what we have to offer as a community, it's really assets like Johnston Farm and the dedication of this center that brings to life the community. And places like this, organizations like the Johnston Farm, it amazes me the link between the past to our future. So I've got my family in the back. Hi, honey. And this center, the education center, is such an opportunity for our future. So we're thankful for that. But really the value that I see in having this asset is because of all the people in the room, the willingness of the Piqua community to invest in what's important for quality of place, and that's only going to serve us well going forward. So congratulations and thank you.
I do have one brief remark. Of course, Justin came up here with a beard and mustache. And those of you that know me realize I no longer have my mustache. And we had a very low-budget PBS special not too long ago where I was doing Colonel Johnston. And, of course, the Colonel didn't have a mustache. So I shaved my mustache for 25 years. My wife had never seen me without a mustache. And I don't think it actually happened, but I did ask that I be on the donor plaque because I think, 25 years of that hair has some value. I would like to now have the members of the Johnston Farm Friends Council fundraising committee stand up. Okay, there we go. These individuals gave a huge amount of time and effort and arm twisting to raise the funds for this facility. And it was not an easy thing to do. We've had a lot of fundraisers going around in the Miami Valley area, and people have really opened their pocketbooks, have donated with a willingness to make this a major part of our facility and to make this a much more of an educational facility. So we thank you very much, Margaret. Thank you for all you did. And you know, when the phone would ring and the ID would come up and it'd be Margaret, I'd cringe. Because she was always after me, I know. But what a wonderful job. What a wonderful, wonderful job. Thank you so much. I'd like members of the Johnston Farm Friends Council Board to please stand. Oh, come on, we got it. There we go. There we go. Okay, there we're going. That's good. These men and women have worked hard in putting together a new organization. We are now not under the direct day-to-day role of the Ohio History Connection, and I said it right. See, and they have worked through trying to determine exactly who's going to do what and how it would go. And in the midst of this, we did a major fundraising and construction project. So it was not easy being a member of our board. At this point, staff and volunteers, please stand. Come on, here we go. There we go. Okay, they're waving. Good, that's good. And these men and women, again, giving of their hours and their time and their talents to this organization, wow, they've absolutely made it happen. And if you would like to be a volunteer out here, Bert, it's not that far a drive. No. But we always welcome you to come out here because there is a lot to do, and it's very satisfying. It's a very satisfying job to be on the canal boat, be in the museum, be in the house, be with Bob. So if you were thinking about that, see Andy, and we will welcome you with open arms here. I would like to now introduce the Executive Director of the Ohio History Connection for a presentation. Bert Logan has been a strong supporter of this site and has been here a number of times, and we really appreciate all the work and effort that he has done in Columbus on our behalf. And I'd like to welcome him to the podium for a few remarks.
Very good.
Bert.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here this afternoon. And I think we've already heard why this project has been so successful. Jim's leadership, that of the staff under Andy's guidance and leadership, the community, the public-private nature of this partnership, that really is what I think it's all about, of making Ohio history come alive in so many ways. So, Jim, we really thank you for your leadership. We thank the Friends Council. You know, at one point, they were the Friends Council in terms of the volunteer support. As Jim mentioned, they are now the site management partner working with the Ohio History Connection. And we couldn't have done what we did before, and we certainly can't do what we'll be doing going forward without the wonderful support of the Friends Council, and we appreciate that leadership. They begin with a fundraising goal of $100,000, and through the effort of the Friends, the council members, local businesses, many others, they were able to raise $112,000 plus a $25,000 gift from the Duke Foundation. So they raised $137,000 against a goal of $100,000, and when we put with that the state capital funds, thank you to the legislature and the governor, of $121,000, it comes up just a little over $250,000 to do this project. And that's just a wonderful accomplishment, and I think that it speaks volumes of the regard that Piqua community has for its heritage and the importance attached to the Johnston Farm and Indian Agency. Now I know there's always you're always moving into murky area when you start listing names and start thanking people individually, because inevitably someone unintentionally could be left off the list. So if that's the case, I apologize in advance, but I think it's important to recognize those who certainly played a leadership role in terms of the fundraising. So Dan and Margaret French threw a challenge gift. The Mullenbrock family also had a challenge grant. The Lungard Foundation, the Hartzell Norris Foundation, the Miami County Foundation, Unity Bank, the Canal Society of Ohio, and 150 other donors that made this project a reality. So when you have that type of support behind you, it's easy to see how this has been accomplished. So we appreciate that so much. And I have a presentation to make, but before I do that, as we make this transition from the Friends Group having been in a supporting role to now being the day-to-day management of the operation, I'd like to recognize 4 employees with service pins. And I will begin with Andy. Andy has 20 years of service to the Ohio History Connection. And Andy, let me get your letter and pen. I've worked with Andy for 4 of those 20 years. Thank you. And it's been a real pleasure. Thank you, Andy. Now, my hunch is that the other 3 are probably out doing their duties, but Marla Fair, Josh Vetter, and Joseph Simons. Joseph's here.
This is Marla.
And Marla's over there. Marla? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Marla is getting a 10-year pin.
Thank you.
And Josh. Josh also is receiving a 10-year pin. And Josh, thank you for your support of Ohio history. And we'll see that Joseph receives his as well. So with that, so this reads, in appreciation of the Johnston Farm Friends Council for its hard work and dedication in coordinating the fundraising campaign to make this education center a reality. Given by the Ohio History Connection, June 14, 2014. And you mentioned another edition in the future. We'll have another one of these.
All right. Thanks, Bert. The other edition, we literally will be moving the front portion of that. A lot of that will be the new restrooms, facilities, and anybody that's interested in a memorial toilet, we would be glad to talk to you. Yeah. And we could name it John. Thank you. That was good. Who knew county commissioners had a sense of humor?
We've got 2 Johns, right?
Yeah. You can split it up. There we go. I would like to recognize George Kane. George, wave, folks. That's it. George has been working with us and coming to meetings and listening to us moan and complain. And through most of that, he has smiled. So George, thank you for all the work. Thank you. And I'd like to introduce Fred Smith. Wave there, Fred. Fred is the architect for this wonderful facility we have here, and Fred was the one that, as we'd say, we'd like to do this, and Fred said, no, you can't do that. What about if we put this? No, you can't do that. So basically, Fred said no to us most of the time, but he said yes to a wonderful facility and a wonderful design. And for those of you in the back, you're hanging over the edge. So several of you might have to move, but naming no names, of course. But it really, you've put together a wonderful, wonderful facility here, and we do thank you very much. Thank you, Fred. And scattered throughout, we have various other members of the Ohio History Connection, staff members that are here, and we appreciate over the years all the work and effort that you've done. You want to wave there at people? There we go. We got some waving there. That's good. That's about the best they can do. We would like to also recognize any construction, Jack and Matt and Eric and the project foreman, Bob Koch, who literally turned this from a kind of concrete monstrosity that was sitting out here. They were out here during the cold weather when it was freezing. I was out here one time and there was like ice out there, and it was they've done just a wonderful job of putting this facility together through our wonderful Ohio weather that we had. I think they only missed a couple of 2 or 3 days. I mean, so it was, their dedication to this was awe-inspiring. So where are they? There they are. Stand up, guys. Come on, stand up. Come on, you can do that. Come on, come on. There we go. Yeah, all the rest of us were inside with little pencils going, well, that looks good. They're out there with hammers and nails, I mean, and literally put this together. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Piqua Community Foundation for managing the project funds, keeping us on track, getting our reports out, getting our thank you letters out, and Karen Wendland. Karen, stand up. Where are you? There she is. There we go. Thank you, Karen, for everything. It was really, really greatly appreciated. You want to do the unveiling?
Why not?
Okay. I lost Margaret again. Oh, where'd she go?
She popped out.
She popped out when we're going to undo the veil. Oh, good.
There she goes.
Okay. Margaret?
Yes.
You get over on this side.
On this side.
This side. Okay.
Aha.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our donor plaque for this wonderful facility.
You would have to explain how it's
Yeah. And immortalized in this is Steve Greggerson, who is talking to students basically right here. And we thought this is a educational facility, and what better thing to have than our staff talking to kids. So just really proud of that. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last, I was tempted to say least, but I'm not going to, is Andy Hite. Andy is the site manager here. This has been literally one of his dreams, one of his visions. I don't know if you're familiar with Andy, but he was in the best damn band in the land as a tuba player. And it shows. Now, Andy is a retired social studies teacher. He's Flint Ridge, right? Before coming here. And Andy has been a driving force in keeping this site together, in making this one of the premier sites in the state of Ohio. We tend to think, well, it's a local site. It is not a local site. We are a site that can stand up to the best in the state, the best in the Midwest. And in a great part, that's because of the work that Andy and the staff do. They put in long hours, dedicated hours, good ideas on programming and keeping things operating. And this has been one of his great visions. And I would like to introduce to you Andy Hite. Yeah, one of those, yeah.
Well, first I want to thank everybody for being here today. Look around, and this is about half of our donors who made this room possible today. And for this kind of a turnout on a beautiful day like this, that means a lot to us. As Jim said, for this education center is a dream come true. We've taken a space that was used, well, sometimes if the weather was just right, or the bees weren't out, or it wasn't windy, or if it wasn't raining, and now we've got a space that can be used every day. One of the comments we've heard this spring was, we really didn't realize there was this much space there. Did you make it bigger? And no, it's the same size it always was. In January of 2013, our Friends Council accepted the challenge of partnering with the Ohio History Connection. See, to conduct a capital campaign that would leverage grant funds as well as Ohio History Connection funds to create this space into new as a state-of-the-art education center. We even have Wi-Fi out here. I can't use it, but I know we've got it. And I'm not lying, am I? And we had to have it completed and ready for our students by April 1st, 2014. Thanks to the hard work of our fundraising committee, I can't say enough about these folks that took on this project. I think they were all Jewish mothers in another lifetime. And we were able to reach our goal. Construction began on December 4th, 2013. And it was during one of the most temperate winters that we've ever had, wasn't it? Isn't that right, Bob? If you were here, you saw some of the pictures that we had taken. And we were able to have this ready to go, and we had our first event in here on April the 5th, 2014. So we were right on schedule. This project really was a culmination of a lot of concerted effort by many individuals and groups, literally across the state of Ohio. Began with a project design with Fred, and yeah, he did tell us no several times, but he did say yes, and we got a wonderful facility out of it. Hite Construction, you guys made it possible. We appreciate that. We had hem glass, so I hope the windows don't fall out. Hubbard Roofing, it hasn't leaked. Lockhart Heating and Cooling, are you cool enough in here today? We can make this a meat locker if you want to. And Rayner Electric. All of those groups were able to take Fred's design off of the paper and make it what we've got today. And also, I want to thank the Canal Society of Ohio because they bought the furniture that you're sitting on. In fact, I had the furniture before I had a room. So we had to finish it. However, really none of this would have been possible without each one of you folks sitting here today. You're the ones that made this possible. One of the great things that I've learned about Piqua since we've been here, that when a need's presented to the people in this area, you know, the citizens respond. And you guys really responded in a big way to make this possible. The Education Center will always be a testament to the value that you've placed on the work that our staff does and our volunteers do here. And I've said this before, I would put our staff and volunteers against anybody in the nation when it comes to caring about their history, caring about this site. You won't find anybody better when it comes to working with the public than what you see right here in Piqua. And it's been rewarding for us to watch the 2,485 students, teachers, and parents who've experienced this space this summer, or this spring. Without exception, every teacher came through here was hugely impressed with the new space. But they always, many of them asked the question, well, where's the patio for lunch? So we have little reorientation to do. For us here, though, it's very humbling to realize that so many people, and you look at that list of names, have made this project possible. Thank you just doesn't seem enough to say for what you've done. And I know that we can't say it enough times for what you folks have made possible today and how much we appreciate what you've done to bring this place to reality. It's a wonderful spot to have. This space isn't our education center. It's the education center for every visitor that comes through the doors of the Johnston Farm and Indian Agency today and long into the future. You know, thank you all for what you've done, and believe me, we appreciate every effort that you've made. And don't leave before you get to take a look at everybody that participated in this. I thank the board, the fundraising committee. There's so many people that came together to make this possible. And every morning when I come in, it's almost, gee, this really did happen. But like Jim said, this is just the start. We've got some other things that, Fred, you're not done with us yet.
Okay.
Yeah, steal yourself. We have a list. I guess I should tell that to everybody out here. We do have a list. So thank you. We're glad that you were a part of this today. We've got some Canal water left. And if you don't drink it, Margaret's just going to have to take it home. We have some unique cookies over there. And if you're wondering what these shapes are through here, I was told I couldn't call them this, but I'm going to call them this anyway. They're boat butts. They're the stern plate from a canal boat. And so, you know, please, you know, look around, enjoy your room, because this truly is your room. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you for what you've made possible for the Johnston Farm and all of our visitors. We appreciate it very much. Well, welcome back. We had our dedication today. We had a lot of good words from a lot of people, and I think the biggest word that should have carried through today was thank you. We owe so much to so many people for making this room possible. It's going to be something that for future generations is just going to be so useful for so long, and we just can't express our thanks for that enough. But, you know, we need to look at what's going on now in September. In July, on July 11th and 12th, we will be doing a program similar to the Chautauqua that was here in 2003. That will be on Friday evening, beginning at 7 with some entertainment. Then a Saturday afternoon here in our education center, the scholars will be presenting a program on how to develop a living history character. Which is really interesting when you see what all goes into assuming the persona of the people that they portray. And then on Saturday evening, we will be doing, again, a 7 o'clock entertainment, and the two scholars will be back again. And those programs, when they present them, are kind of a three-part thing. First, they do them in the first person of the historical individual they're representing. Then they stop and answer questions in character, and then finally they will break character and answer questions as the scholar. And it's a really unique way of learning and understanding history. The two people that are going to be presented, one is Mary Drapers Ingalls. Mary Drapers Ingalls was a white girl that was captured by the Indians and spent a lot of her life as an Indian captive. She's going to tell her story. And then we have a gentleman that's going to be presenting a Cherokee chief who during the French and Indian War fought on the side of the British, and he fought with Mary Drapers Ingalls' white family. So there's a connection there between those two people. You see a little bit of two different worlds from that program. I think people will really enjoy that, and we invite you to come out. If you're a member of the Friends Council, admission is going to be free for that night. That's one of the perks of membership. And for other people, the admission is going to be fairly simple. It's $10 per car. So if you can cram 30 people in your car, you can get in for $10. You know, like the old days of trying to get into the drive-in movie. But I'm sure Joe never did that. He never put people in the trunk. But, you know, that's going to be July. Our August event, again, will be our evening on the canal, where we'll do our catered dinner here in the Education Center, and we'll be then doing an evening canal. We'll be sharing more information about both of those programs as we go on. Would like to close today, again, with a huge thank you to so many people. Even if you couldn't make it today, if you were a donor and supporter of this, you'll get to see the program. And we appreciate, again, so much of what you've done. So to finish for today's Around the Farm, I'm Andy Hite, the site manager here at the Johnston Farm. And behind
you.